spicy, porky Sichuan peppercorns and beautiful, soft, silky tofu. This is my version of classic Mapo Tofu. Wow, I've eaten so many different versions of this dish. I've eaten it in Shanghai, I've eaten it in Bangkok, I've eaten it in Australia, in America, and so I've used all of those inspirations to make my very favorite version at home, which is super spicy and porky and very, very satisfying, can I say. I love making this dish. Okay, so let's get started. Szechuan peppercorns is one of the most crucial ingredients for this dish. You want that numbing sensation and that beautiful high citrusy note that you get from the peppercorns. It's essential. So we want to treat them with some care, and we're going to heat them up, get them releasing all of their flavors and aromas. Now, an interesting thing with Szechuan peppercorns I've found is that they can vary a lot in their strength depending on where you are in the world. So if you find that your Szechuan peppercorns are very, very over the top, numbing and spicy, just use a little bit less where you are. I find here in Thailand they're a little bit milder, so I tend to use a little bit more. Once I can see just beautiful little whispers of smoke, I'm going to pop that into my mortar and crush these to a fine powder. Okay, so that's the sort of texture that you're looking for. So now let's talk about the tofu. This is the other really crucial part to get right. So what you're looking for is a soft tofu. Don't go for a silken tofu because that one will disintegrate completely in the pan. You want one that just says soft, and it should, once you've drained out that liquid, get it out onto a board. So it should really look like a firm jelly, and that's the kind of texture that you're going for. Now I want some cubes of this, so I'm going to start by just running my knife through the middle and then across this way. But just me, there's something so satisfying about slicing soft tofu. I love it. And then once more this way. Now, one extra little step that I like to include that's not in all recipes, and that is to just kind of heat the tofu in some salted water. So I've got some hot water here. It's not rapidly boiling, so I don't want it to break up the tofu. And then just gently place your tofu pieces into there. So this is going to nicely season the tofu, but also kind of firm it up a little bit so that it's less inclined to disintegrate in the pan. Now just let that simmer really gently about 3 minutes, then take it off the heat. Just let it sit in that salty water until our pork chili sauce is ready. So now it's time to make our sauce, and this is where all the magic happens. Okay, let's get our wok heating up. And I want a really decent amount of oil here because, of course, one of the characteristics that I love about this dish is that beautiful red sheen of chili oil that sits on the top of the dish. And then add in some pork mince. Now just give that pork mince a minute or so to really sizzle and start to release some of its juices. Okay, and this next ingredient also crucial. So I'm going to need you guys to have a search online or head to your Asian grocer and find a spicy fermented bean paste called douban-diang. And this is what gives our dish that characteristic red, beautiful, deep dark color, plus all like the savory umami flavor that we want for our sauce as well. Now here's where I need you to exercise a little bit of patience. I need that oil and all the porky juices to kind of soak up all of that chili paste for everything to turn a beautiful red color. Okay, so after 2 minutes here, you can see that we've got some lovely red oil there. So I'm going to add in some garlic and ginger, and now for the chili powder. So this is also going to lend us a beautiful red color. It's really up to you how spicy you want this dish. Classically, it should be spicy and numbing, so take it as far as you can go. Now I want to add in some chicken stock and then all of my seasonings. So I've got some soy sauce and some dark soy sauce, some sugar, and a little dash of vinegar. Now I want to bring this up to a simmer, and this is where all the magic is going to happen. The flavors are going to develop. Pork is going to become really savory and full of flavor. So I want probably about 3 or 4 minutes, or until that liquid has reduced by about a quarter and it's starting to thicken up. All right, so this is looking good. It is smelling divine, can I say? Oh, so good. Now I want to thicken everything up. So I'm going to add in some corn flour mixed with a little bit of water, and just like magic, look at how thick and glossy that becomes. Now I also want to add in my Sichuan peppercorn powder that we made earlier here. Now I like to taste this at this point just to see if I need any more seasoning. That is perfect. Oh, and it really should hit you right in the back of the throat with that spice and the chili and the peppercorns. So now this is ready for our tofu. Gently strain out the tofu. And I want a little bit of sesame oil in here just to finish it off. Now just gently mix that tofu through that sauce. A little sprinkling of spring onion here. Look at how beautiful and glossy that sauce is. Flavor in here, guys. Out of this world. Serve it up. Even your tofu adverse friends are going to love this. And now a final sprinkling of spring onion. So there you go, guys, my version of Mapo Tofu. I have a lot of favorite Chinese dishes, but I'm telling you, this one is right up there with the best. Wow, that is just a huge explosion of flavor, and the contrast between that silky tofu and then that porky sauce, and the peppercorns and that numbing, the whole thing. It's just a triumph, a triumph.
If you've got any comments or questions, pop them below, and if you enjoyed the video, why not hit that subscribe button plus the little bell one, and that way you'll get notified every time I release a new video. Thanks, guys.